This is the plan that got me from an 8-second straddle planche to a full planche in only 12 weeks. So let's break it down and explain it. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to plan one of these routines for yourself and understand why I programmed it in this way. Week 1 is what I call muscular conditioning. What is the aim of week 1? Well, the number one aim of week 1 is to allow for further progression during the training program. Week 1 can't be too hard, because if it is, by the time it comes to week 3, then you'll be way too tired. The fatigue will be way too high due to the amount of sets, which is volume, and the intensity, which is the degree or the difficulty of the exercise you're doing. So week 1 has to be manageable, not too hard, but also not too easy, and allow for further progression during the training program. The second thing week 1 is meant to do is increase your technique. Chances are, if you're getting into week 1 of a program, you either weren't training or just took a deload. So your technique likely is going to be a little bit rusty, so you need to increase your technique again. So you need to get the rust off, get that ring rust off, get everything moving again, get mobile, get used to going to the gym, get that habit going again, and get used to all of that. So that's also another aim of week 1. The third aim of week 1 is to prepare for the loading of the following weeks. So in week 2, again, we're going to make this harder by increasing the intensity and the volume a little bit. So you need to start somewhere so your body isn't just jarred by the amount of volume you've started increasing your workouts by. So week 1 is a good place to start. Then week 2, you're going to build on that. So it's a good foundation. The other aim of week 1 is to make sure all the exercises are working as planned. So there may be some exercises that you thought may have been good, but actually you don't feel the activation too well in that exercise. This is your chance to change it before you get into the rest of the program. So week 1, let's build the plan. I train on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and an optional session on Saturday. Training every other day for hard calisthenic skills like the planche is really advised by higher level athletes if you've got that base foundation to train that often, because it's a good frequency per week to get in. 4 to 3 sessions is that sweet spot for optimal progress in these calisthenic skills, because you get to practice the technique and you don't burn yourself out due to the intense exercises you have to do. So let's talk about those non-optional workout days on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Remember, these workouts are built so you have somewhere to progress from. You start accumulating volume for the rest of the program. I start off these workouts after my warm-up with the first exercise, which is assisted full planche holds. Of course, we're working with the assisted full planche because we want to be working the full planche now, not the straddle planche anymore, because of course, to get the full planche, we need to be doing the full planche. This is called specificity, which is the number 1 strength principle rule. If you don't know these strength principles, you need to watch my other videos on the fundamental strength principles for calisthenics. You can find that video up top and watch that after watching this video. So we're doing the assisted full planche with resistance bands, but a common mistake I see people make is they don't actually program what bands they need to use and how long they're going to hold those bands. You need to really define how long you're going to hold and what assistance, because the assistance defines the intensity of the exercise. So I start off with holding up 50% of my body weight, then I hold up 80% of my body weight for 2 sets, and then I hold up about 70% of my body weight. This is very approximate. I'm just approximating it using the resistance bands. You can use some complicated methods to know exactly what assistance you're getting, but I'm telling you guys, this isn't needed. You just need to know roundabout, what bands to use. So another mistake people get into is they work too much with bands, because you don't want to rely on your bands for everything, because there is an aspect of conditioning for your wrists and elbows. If you don't work with your own body weight and work on holding that up yourself, you will start to rely on the bands, both mentally and physically. And mentally is almost the bigger part here. When you do a whole training program only with bands, then you go and release the bands and try and hold it up without any assistance, it's going to feel daunting mentally. All that time you've had something pulling, helping you, just having the bands not there, it's gonna mess with you. I've seen it before, so trust me. Do some unassisted holds as well at the same time while you're using your bands for your main workout. It's gonna help out a lot. So lastly, I finished off with an accessory exercise, which was scapular push-ups. So this was just to isolate my protraction strength, because that was my number 1 weakness. So I recommend picking some area of the planche that is your weakness, whether it's the core position, whether it's your straight arm strength, add an exercise there to target this, just to add a little bit more volume, and you don't have to work on your balance, your hold time. You're not worried about that. You're just worried about your raw strength in that exercise. And that's why this exercise was so good, and I recommend it for a lot of people, because it's hard to fully protract in the full planche. So now you guys might be wondering, where are all the other exercises? How could you just do 3 exercises for planche and progress that quickly? Well, that becomes down to the programming in the long term, but the reason I only did 3 exercises is because number 1, you don't need that many, you just need some good exercises. And the second thing is I trained every other day. So I trained push and pull on the same day. This is a thing a lot of high-level athletes do. It helps you get a lot of frequency in per week, like I said, which helps with technique. By the way, I forgot to mention, like I said, I was doing push and pull on the same day, but after those assisted planche sets, I was actually going to do the rings. I was doing iron cross. I was also doing, Victorian. So I was doing push and pull, and I was doing rings as well. So another reason why there was only 3 exercises for the full planche, but I was able to actually get the iron cross and progress with my Victorian cross on rings, as well as get the full planche cleanly. So it is possible to train these things at the same time, but like I said, I'm not throwing in tons of exercises for each of those. No, I'm keeping it short and sweet. So in between my planche sets, I will do my pull sets as supersets. So I go one to the other, then I'll do my rest. This would shorten the workout, so my workouts wouldn't be super long, and I'd get in all my push and pull exercises that I'd need. And so that's pretty much it for week 1. Easy, right? It's really not that easy. Sometimes week 1 is one of the roughest because you're coming out of a deload, so take it easy. Also, for the hold times during this program, sometimes the hold time will be 20 seconds, maybe even 16 seconds. And for the lighter bands where I'm holding up 80 to 70% of my body weight, sometimes that's quite hard. So I wouldn't always hold the full 20 seconds. I'd do 2 things. I'd either do a drop set or I'd rest and carry on. So drop sets are a big thing that I always do to increase hold time and form. So make use of those as well. So I wasn't able to get the full 20 seconds in my yellow band the first time round I did this program. I would have to do it a second time, and then I'd actually add more seconds. So that's what you do. You'd keep laddering up every time, trying to improve. That's how I'm able to make decent progress. And last thing for week 1, let's look at the overall volume and intensity. Overall for week 1, for planche, the overall volume was about 12 sets. And the intensity was anywhere between 6 to 7 out of 10 for that week. So it was moderately high, not the highest, but still it was pretty hard on some sets. You're gonna need to keep track of the volume and the intensity during your program because that changes throughout your program, and you need to know how are you changing it. This change is called periodization. It's how you're changing your program over time to cause about some kind of adaptive change to the body. As you can see in this program, I'm doing a form of linear periodization, which I'll explain later. So what was my aim for week 2? My aim was to increase my capacity for work. So being able to do more volume at a high intensity. So both the volume and the intensity would increase a little bit. I was mainly focused on increasing the intensity, and I'll explain why in a second, but the volume would also increase. As you can see, between week 1 and week 2, intensity is increasing. So I'm holding up a greater majority of my own body weight. So that means the bands are getting lighter, and these workouts, the exercises are getting more intense. Why am I focused on increasing intensity? And well, let me explain it this way. What is the difference between the straddle planche and the full planche? The full planche is way more intense. It's a lot harder. The feet are together, so there's a greater majority of your weight that's not spread out, so it's going to be harder on that lever to hold. You need to increase your capacity to hold a more stressful exercise. So that's why you're working on increasing intensity rather than increasing your volume. This is how it's different to hypertrophy. If you were working on building more muscle, then probably you would increase volume. Of course, intensity would work towards that as well, but for strength and specifically for the full planche, I'm working on getting my body adapted to that lighter band. That's the aim, to get used to that lighter band until I don't need it anymore and I can do the full planche fully protracted with no band. So frequency changes a little bit on week 2 as well. Instead of training every other day or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm now training Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, then Friday and Saturday are optional. They're optional in the sense that I'm training either one of those days or 2, but I'm not training none of those days. I'm training at least 4 times per week. So why am I training 4 times per week now? It's because I want to increase my capacity for work. So I'm increasing the volume. This is increasing volume because I'm doing more sets for the planche. So that's more reps, more hold time, more volume that goes towards the planche, more adaptations. Within a workout plan, you do sort of need to increase volume a little bit to some degree. I do this because of something called maximal adaptive volume. So all this means is that during a workout plan, you're going to get used to training 3 times a week. So during that training program, you do need to increase the number of sets you're doing at least. If you're doing this, maybe just add a few more sets. That's totally fine. But the idea here is that you're going to adapt to volume even week to week. So within weeks, you're going to adapt to training a certain amount. So you do need to increase that somewhat, but you'll see what I do in the following weeks. Sorry if that's confusing. I won't make it any more confusing than that. So as you can see with the volume and intensity on week 2, the volume stays to the lower end of the spectrum. It stays at about 9 to 10. So it's maybe even a bit lower than week 1 because I don't train both the Friday and the Saturday. So the volume is still staying low, but the intensity, as you can see, is getting now to a 7 to 8 out of 10. So intensity is getting quite difficult during those holds, which is why I reduce the sets. I also get a good amount of rest in between my sessions. Very important. What is the aim of week 3? Well, the aim of week 3 is to get used to that 80% of my body weight, holding that up. That's my pure aim. I need to be able to hold up 80% to even get close to holding up my body weight by the end of the program. If I'm doing this, then volume has to stay the same or reduce. So if I'm increasing the intensity by that much, something has to allow me to stop myself from overtraining and accumulating too much fatigue before the end of the program. So I have to reduce the volume. So I only did 3 sets of my assisted full planche holds, and trust me, for me, this was enough. So as you can see in week 3, the intensity is an 8 out of 10. So for everything 8 out of 10, I'm also trying to progress my scapular push-ups. I'm not staying on that red band scapular push-ups. I'm trying to work up to the green band, the heaviest band I've got. I'm trying to work up to that because I don't have many sets, so I'm making them as hard as I can. Remember, it's an 8 out of 10, so that's quite hard. Week 4. So what was the aim of week 4? Well, the aim of week 4 was to prepare for unassisted holds, to allow my body to get used to holding up 90% of my body weight so I could do unassisted holds. Because I know whenever I'm able to hold up 90% of my own body weight with this really thin band, I can hold unassisted in that same progression. So if I could do the full planche like that in 90%, I could do it unassisted. So that was the aim for week 4. Volume is staying the same, but intensity, it's now a 9 out of 10 for everything. And finally, we're on to week 5, which is all about attempts. Week 5 is my week where I peak. I call it my peak week. This is where I do all my attempts. So I'm not doing attempts, maybe here and there on a Saturday, I do attempts. Sometimes that helps me a lot, like doing attempts once a week. That's something you guys can mess around with, attempts once a week. I would do this on Saturday, and this did help me progress as well. But mainly the full time I was focused on attempts was on week 5. And as you can see, this is the overview of the program, how the intensity and volume change. As you can see, this is linear progression. One thing is increasing as the other decreases or stays constant. So this week is a 10 out of 10 for intensity because it's your max. It's the hardest you can go. So no bands, 100% body weight, you're doing your full planche, and I was able to get some good holds, decent form of my full planche. So with these full planche holds, I maybe wouldn't have classed them as proper holds statically, but man, was that form not the best I ever had. I was super happy with this progress, and that was only after 6 weeks. So what I did was I repeated this program, and when I repeat the program, I make week 1 just 1 notch harder in terms of intensity, and then everything else is pretty much harder from the following weeks, and I follow the same kind of volume. So that's pretty much how I progressed the programs from week to week. That was the program I used to get the full planche in only 12 weeks. After all the attempts in week 5, I would then do a deload in week 6. So if you guys want, I can do a full video explaining how to deload, how I deload, how I do it for calisthenics, and how I do it so I come back stronger for week 1. Then let me know and I'll make that video for you. But to make progress like this, you guys do need some equipment like the resistance bands, parallettes, wrist wraps, and I know some of you don't have the money for that. So I'm doing a giveaway of Gore Nation equipment. They're sponsoring this giveaway and this video. So what you need to do, this giveaway isn't going to be on YouTube. You need to go to the Jack Calisthenics Discord, join the link down below in the description of this video so you're there ready for the giveaway because you don't want to miss it. I'm going to be giving away some of the new wooden parallettes as well as the 20 kg weight vest as well as some other prizes as well. So make sure you're in the Jack Calisthenics Discord. The link is down below, and if you haven't already, then watch this video because I give the secret to my fast progression in very hard skills like the Iron Cross, Maltese. I break it all down similar to this video, and it's all right here.